Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Coach's Corner. I'm Bobby Klatt. Alongside me is head women's soccer coach Nick Hoover. Now, Coach, for the first time in your fifth-year tenure here, you're regionally ranked, sitting at 7-2 overall. What does this ranking mean to your team, and how much motivation does it give them going forward into the second half of the season?
It's definitely a privilege to be ranked regionally. It's a really tough region in the Mid-Atlantic. As a team, we really feel like it's a great honor, but at the same time, you don't want it to be something you just kind of settle on. We as a team found it to be very humbling, a great experience, but we just got to use it as motivation to just get better. And this is the fruits of our labor, but there's still a ways to go. So.
Now, you're 5-1 in one-goal games. Like I said, 7-2 overall, but 6 of the 9 being very close down the stretch. What has been the most important thing to pulling out those close wins?
I think this is the first time I can say every single game we've ever gone into this season has been a game we believe we can win, and that happens from the start. We practice to get ourselves prepared for each game. And going into each game, we believe it, and then it's in the game when your belief gets tested. And we have had way more confidence, despite being down a goal or being even or even being up a goal. More confidence that we're going to pull those games out, and I feel as though the top to bottom, belief from the 33rd player on our team to the first player on our team, everyone believes we can win. And that belief is very strong when you get into a tight game that's a one-goal game.
Now you're coming off this conference opener against Catholic, who is usually a top contender year in and year out, pulling off the 2-1 victory. What were the emotions like after winning that kind of game, especially the first time in a long time that you guys have beaten Catholic, especially doing it on your home field? And what kind of momentum does this give your team going forward that, hey, we can take on anyone in this conference?
Well, I mean, you just said it best right there. Catholic has won 2 straight conference championships, and they were the team to beat. We knew that. We had that game circled on our schedule from day one, and we knew what kind of team they were. They're top class, regionally ranked, sometimes nationally ranked team, and we spent all week, really all season, preparing for this type of game. Our big goal was to have more conference success than we've ever had, and to do that, you really need to play against the best of the best, and just lined up that way. That day one of a conference season was going to be Catholic, and the emotions were high. I mean, I typically try and keep my emotion after the game down. In the game, I'm very emotional, I'm very intense, but after the game, I try and keep everyone grounded. That game, I didn't say anything. I just let them have fun. It's a historic win for this program. We've never beaten them, and to do it on our home field, first game of the conference season, was amazing, and our players earned the right to be really excited about that game. But as a coach, you get about 4 or 5 hours to celebrate it, and you got to get ready for the next game and the next conference game. And to answer the second part of that question, it mentally prepares us to go in and say, this is the bar you've set for yourselves. You've played this well against this team, who is a top-class team. That effort is no longer the goal; it's the standard, and we can do it even better.
Now, you've been playing a lot of freshmen and sophomores, the young group of talent that have come into your system over the last 2 years. Who have been some breakout players that have really stepped up their game this year and have made a huge impact?
Well, our first goal of the year was actually scored by and assisted on by 2 freshmen, Allie Pettit and Julia Hutsko. Julia scored the goal, and those 2 have been very hardworking, kind of lightning in a bottle type players. You throw them on the field, they're quick, they're hardworking, they're fit, and they just go out and play. Katie Baluch has come off the bench for us a couple of times, and we're starting to rotate some more freshmen into the mix. As far as our sophomore class, our leading scorer last year was a freshman and now a sophomore, Emily Sullivan, and she's come on strong the last couple of games. In the back, Emily Lefkowitz, who was coming off a knee injury last year, has started a bunch of games for us at outside back. Kate Cantrell is coming off the bench for us at outside mid. We have a good group in those first 2 classes, because it takes you some time to really understand the game, understand the amount of intensity and physicality that goes into the college game, and we're fortunate that some of our first-year players came in ready for that right away, and some of our second-year players have absolutely taken on the responsibility they earned as first-year players, and it hasn't been overwhelming as it seemed for either one of those groups.
Now moving on to the experience, and especially in the back with Shauna Barry, Jordan Slocum, the veterans of the defense. You've been winning games a lot of 1-0, 2-1. Defense has been the key. Is it important to have kind of experience, especially on the back line, to push everything forward?
Absolutely. That's been the driving force of our team for the last 2 years, really. to have a back four that we do that's as experienced as it is with Shauna, like you mentioned, and Marissa and Alex and Cassidy Stefano is just coming back, and then you have someone like Jordan, and when Jordan's not in, Jenny, both keepers who have varsity experience and playing at a high level. It really starts from there. It starts from the goalkeeper, Jordan being the senior captain, and really moves its way forward. Some teams build from the front back. We've really put an emphasis on building from the back forward. And the experience back there, the knowledge of how to play the position, and again, that goes back to what we talked about earlier. When things aren't going well, the experience that you have on the field is going to really help you out, and I think that's helped us tremendously this year.
Now, like we've been saying this whole interview, 9 games, 7 wins. You guys have gone off to a great start in the first half of the year, but knowing, being from a coaching family as well, and talking to you guys, what are some of the little things that you guys can still improve on as you go into conference play to make sure that you guys get to the playoffs and make a run towards the championship?
We could definitely start putting more goals away. I know we had a 4-goal game yesterday, but there's definitely opportunities for us to be more efficient in the attacking third. When we get the ball to feet, making the right decision, seeing more than one option. Soccer's a very tough sport where the game just goes, and you have to have your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
We have some very talented players, some very fit, athletic players. We need to get some intelligence mixed in there every once in a while too. Not that we're not an intelligent team, because we are, but there are spurts, and I think that every one of our team would agree that we just need to be a little bit smarter with the ball at our feet. That being said, we've built a foundation that I think has been the reason for our success, and that's been hard work, good shape defensively, and looking to counterattack teams and looking to put teams under pressure with our athleticism, and our depth has been by far our biggest asset. You know, we pretty much sub every position on the field except for maybe 1 or 2, and that's been huge for us this year.
Coach, appreciate your time like always. Hopefully the second half is just as good as the first, and on your way to hopefully a landmark conference championship.
Thanks, Bobby.